What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. For those of you stopping by for the first time, do me a real quick favor. See that red subscribe button down below? Go ahead and push that to show your support for the channel. Those of you stopping by that have been here before, welcome back to TLTG Reviews, my friends. Glad you came to see me. So, starting to get a little colder. Holiday season is upon us. I figure it's that time. Let's go ahead and start diving into the top 10 winter lists. We're going to start things off with top 10 winter fragrances on the cheapy side. Fragrances below $30. We'll follow it up by top 10 winter fragrances, designers 35 and up. And then we'll cap it off later down the line with top 10 winter fragrances on the niche side that I have in my collection. So I do have one honorable mention in this list. And the reason it's an honorable mention because I feel like it's not really for everybody. I like it. There's several people in TLTG Reviews Fragrance Lounge that I know like it because they tend to post about it a lot. But like I said, it's not going to be for everybody. It's that black leather smell. It's very bad boy. It's very, very smoky resinous. It's from John Varvatos. It's Dark Rebel Rider. Gotta love that cap. This is a beautiful, beautiful fragrance. But at the same time, like I said, this isn't going to be for everybody. It's going to be a little too much for some. It's one that you can have sub $30 for a 75 ml like this. I think I've been seeing them everywhere for $25 at all the rack stores lately. They're out right now. Get your hands on it if you want something that's a bit darker, a little bit heavier. Performance isn't going to blow your mind. 6 hour fragrance, 5-6 hour fragrance, something like that. Maybe 7 depending on your skin. And it's going to push for a little while, but you're definitely going to smell different. This one doesn't smell like your run-of-the-mill fragrances that you're used to. We'll just leave it at that. It's very resinous, very smoky. It has this black leather jacket on it. It's very fitting because it has a black, it reminds you of black leather when you smell it. So for the only honorable mention, Dark Rebel Rider by John Varvatos. So let's get into this top 10. So like I said, everything in this list you can find for the sub $30 range. And starting off is actually one that's discontinued. You can get them online in the $25 range for a 4.2 ounce bottle. I have been seeing them at the rack stores lately. I actually recently saw this, a 4.2 ounce bottle at TJ Maxx. And this is from Issey Miyake. This is L'Eau d'Issey Pour Homme Intense. Another one, real smoky. Smoky, smoky green. Solid performer. Relatively loud. One that I really enjoy. It's definitely a darker, smokier version of the original. Why it's discontinued, I'm not sure. But the plus side to that is you can have this one cheap. There's a ton of them out there still. Eventually, you won't be able to find them so cheap. But right now, they're cheap. This is one that I don't know if you can get your hands on it to test it at any stores. Since it's discontinued, I would think not. So you're going to have to blind buy it. And there's maybe a 70-30 chance that you will like it versus the 30% chance you don't. Because like I said, this is one that's not necessarily going to be for everybody either, but I definitely enjoy it. I'm glad to have it. And it's going to be getting a lot of use in the rotation for me on the days that aren't super cold. Days that are more cold in the morning, cool in the afternoons, and then cold again at night. Not when it's just real cold all day. This isn't super heavy and warm. This is real good to wear to work. And this is strong enough to cut through the cold. Number 10 spot. Number 9. One that was a hype magnet for a little while with the rack stores. I did a full review on it a while back, and it still reigns true. It's very warm, very musky, a little spicy. Great projector, and lasts about 9 hours. It's from Abercrombie Fitch. It's First Instinct Extreme. That's right. We haven't talked about it in a while on this channel. It's very synthetic, but it smells really good, I have to say. One of the better offerings from Abercrombie Fitch for sure. And it's one that, 50 ml like this, you can have in that $20 range, online or in the rack stores. They still pop up in the rack stores. I know I've been seeing First Instinct Blue and the original First Instinct a lot more than the Extreme. But for the cold, this is definitely the route to go. This will do well in the colder temperature. It's strong enough, it's warm enough, it's deep enough to get the job done. Give it a try if you come across it in the wild. Number 8 spot. One that is strong enough and heavy enough and smoky enough, at least the batch I have, that it's a year-round fragrance. It's actually a little too much for the summer. It does better in the spring, fall, and winter, I find. And it'll do very well in the winter around here. It's from Armoff. It's Club de Nuit Intense Man. The compliment magnet itself, I have a February 2018 batch, and those of you that have watched multiple videos on my channel know I call this one Smoky Magic, because that's what I smell. God, it's so good. And it's a monster too. You can't spray this one real heavy. It does project for a long time. Leaves a very strong scent trail, and it goes all day. This will cut through the cold, no problem. And it smells amazing. You get past that harsh opening, it's incredible from that point on. I would say 20 minutes on, this thing's incredible. I can't speak on behalf of the newer batches. I've heard, oh, they're much fruitier, they're less smoky. Performance isn't the same. I don't have that batch, so I can't speak on that batch's behalf. I can only speak on the February 2018 batch that I have. Great. It makes me want to find another bottle of it, because this one's great. If you can get your hands on it, get your hands on it. They're in that $26, $28 range. Next, $23, well spent. A brand that I recently started diving into more this past summer. I've done several reviews for the company, and this is one of my favorite versions of Tom Ford Tuscan Leather. It performs, it's a monster, it's leathery. You don't really get a lot of oud, but it's a real good leather fragrance. It's loud, it's very masculine. It's from Creme. It's leather and oud. This is a very, very good fragrance. You can get them at Target, Walmart, places like that. Oh God, it smells so good. We're gonna give it a little spray. It smells beautiful. Oh, there's that leather. It's got a really, really good leather accord. You would think it's super cheap and synthetic because it's $23 fragrance. It's really not. They did well. They blended these wonderfully. Creme did a fantastic job on these fragrances. If you haven't tried them, you're missing out. You really are. I smell it floating in the air. Creme has some underrated gems. The entire line is good. I have 3 out of the 6 that are readily available. I know Special Blend or Reserve Blend isn't the easiest to find, but all the rest of them, they're great. They really are. If you haven't tried them, you need to try them, and this is a performance monster. Leather Nude from Creme. Check it out. Let's see, 10, 9, 8, 7. Number 6, one that's going to give you that Armani Code vibe for sure. It's got that scent to it. The star anise in it really gives it off that vibe with the leather. It really does smell very close to Armani Code, I find. Performance isn't its strong point. You're going to get about 6 or 7 hours. But it smells great in the opening. The dry down, even better. It's from Michael Kors. It's Michael Kors for Men. The newest formulation, not the previous version. I've never smelled the original. But I do enjoy the 2014. Oh, it's very good. It actually kind of gives off a boozy accord. And there's no whiskey or rum of any kind in it as far as the note breakdown is concerned. You can have these $30 for this 4 ounce. I haven't seen this particular fragrance from them in any other size at the rack stores, but I always see the 4 ounces, and they're $30, and they're worth every penny of it. It's a really good fragrance. It's a nice change of pace, because not everybody's wearing Armani Code anymore. Nowadays, with Armani Code, people are wearing Absolute, Profumo, different flankers. Nobody's really wearing the original that much anymore, as far as I know. And this is maybe a different touch on the original that you may enjoy. And it's cheap. Like I said, $30, 4 ounce bottle. Check it out. It's perfect for the cold. Please excuse the coughing. I'm a little under the weather. This has been my scent of the day and scent of the evening here lately. See the dent that's been put in that. Yeah. So, number 5 is a staple in the winter, in my opinion. If you're going to have a fragrance collection and you're going to separate certain things by season, this is a must-have. This is where I believe everybody should start with tobacco fragrances as well. It's a sweet tobacco, it's beautiful, it performs decent, and it's super cheap. It's from Calvin Klein CK1 Shock. This is a must-have in everybody's collection. This is the quintessential winter tobacco fragrance, in my opinion. Oh, it's so good. It's a sweet, moist tobacco. It's got a little bit of tangerine in the opening, a little leather in the dry down. I smell it floating. This is such a good fragrance. 100 ml like this, $20. 200 ml, $30. pretty much everywhere you can find it. I don't know about any reformulations as of late because this bottle's about 2 years old and it's about right here. Probably next winter we'll be getting another bottle because by then I should be about right there-ish. Maybe a quarter of the bottle left. And it's time to buy another bottle when you get down to a quarter of it, in my opinion. But speaking of my opinion, this is a must-have in the winter. This is where you should start for tobacco. I'm telling you, it's so good, guys. Don't just take my word for it. Check your reviews, written and video. It's on a lot of people's lists for a reason. Because for the money, it's very, very difficult to beat CK1 Shock. Just saying. So, number 4. One that you were probably expecting to see on this list, because it has to be on this list. It's one of my favorite cold weather fragrances. It's very smoky leather. It's not as resinous as Dark Rebel Rider. It's actually better than Dark Rebel Rider. It's Dark Rebel from John Varvatos. I love that cap so much, I just do. This one is even better. Oh man, my God. It's still a little resinous, but it's not super thick like Dark Rebel Rider. This one is more wearable. It's still a bad boy fragrance. It's still the leather jacket fragrance, don't get me wrong. But this is one that more men will be able to appreciate, more women will enjoy smelling on their man. And it cuts through the cold. Yeah, it's not going to blow you away with projection and longevity. 6-hour fragrance, arm's length, hour and a half, something like that. But it's going to get the job done, and it's cheap. You can get a 75 ml for 25. 125 ml like this, I want to say 35, but I'm not sure. I think you can find them some spots for 30. But either way, you can get a 75 ml for 25, so it fits this list. But John Varvatos Dark Rebel is a must. One that I love wearing. I'm about right here in my bottle. I tend to wear it a lot when it gets cold. This is kind of a dumb reach in the winter for me. And one that could potentially be a dumb reach for you, once you give it a try. Now, number 3 is kind of a 3A and 3B. I've stated previously that every time this makes a list, you're going to see both of them. Because they both deserve talking about. They're both worth owning. It's not redundant to have them both. Because things are heightened in one versus the other. So, we're talking about Bentley For Men and Bentley For Men Intense. Stronger leather, smoke, and woods. Stronger spice, rum, more wearable. These are bangers right here. Niche level fragrances, sub $30 range for both. You don't have to spray heavy, because if you spray heavy, something's wrong. Somebody in my group recently talked about, got it in and he sprayed and sprayed and sprayed, and after a couple hours him and his girlfriend couldn't smell it. I have no idea if they reformulated Bentley For Men Intense, because the one I have and everybody else I've talked to blow your mind with 3 sprays. Just blow you away for hours and hours and hours. Maybe it's just your skin, pod, and I don't know what to tell you, because this is as screamer as it gets of a fragrance. And this, I actually prefer to wear the original Bentley For Men more. This one's more wearable. This one I will wear more often. If I had to pick one of the two, it's the original, because I like spicy fragrances. This is spicier with more rum. This is a lot, like I said, the leather, the smoke, and the woods are heightened on this one. But all in all, they're both great fragrances, and it's not redundant to own them both, in my opinion. But at the number 3 spot is both Bentley For Men and Bentley For Men Intense. Number 2. Number 2 could very well make number 1. I've never smelled a cheaper alternative to Spice Bomb Extreme until I got my hands on this. This particular fragrance sparked a love and interest for me in this brand. I was so impressed by this fragrance, I reached out. I did some giveaways from this brand. I've now delved into their beard products, their shaving products, their body washes, which I swear by their body washes now. We've already talked about one of their fragrances, and to me, this is the best fragrance from the house. I don't care what anybody says. It's amazing. The performance is great. It's a little sweet and spicy. It's from Creme. It's spice and black vanilla. I don't care what anybody says. Bourbon and oak's good. Blue cedar and cypress is good. Bergamot and musk is good. Leather and oud's good. They're all good. This is the best. I'm telling you, this fragrance is amazing. It's a little bit sweeter than Spice Bomb Extreme because it's cardamom instead of pepper for the spice, so it's a sweeter spice. But in the dry down, it's about 80%. In the opening, it's about 70%. It's gonna remind you of Spice Bomb Extreme. It will. And it's only $22.99. It's the way to go from Creme. This very well could have been number one because I believe this is a staple and a must-have if you're on a budget. Excuse me. If you're on a budget, Creme Spice and Black Vanilla is the way to go. It goes, I forgot what kind of longevity I normally get. It's about 9 hours on my skin, 9-10 hours. And it projects heavy for a little over 2.5 hours. This thing is amazing. And you can, like I said, $22.99, you can have it. That's cheap. Oh, so good. Yes, when you spray it, you smell Spice Bomb Extreme. 70% in the openings, undershooting it. It's more 80-85. So good. Get your hands on it. The only alternative, close alternative I've ever smelled to Spice Bomb Extreme. Creme Spice and Black Vanilla. And at the number one spot, it's still my favorite winter fragrance. No matter how many fragrances I get, no matter what the price, this is my favorite winter fragrance. I have more bottles of this than any other fragrance. I got multiple backups. It's from English Laundry. It's Windsor. I love this fragrance. I still love it. I've got multiple niche winter fragrances now, and I still take this over those. It's just that good to me. I know not everybody likes it. Some people say it smells like old man and all this. You're not giving the fragrance a chance. Or your nose is just stuck on Sauvage. I don't know what to tell you. I love this fragrance. You got to give it a chance. It's masculine. It's spicy. It's a little oody. It's a little barbershop. It's really good. And you can get them cheap. This is a phenomenal offering from the House of English Laundry. It's still one of my absolute favorite fragrances. It's still my favorite winter fragrance. 100%. I'll take English Laundry Windsor over all of these. No doubt. If I had to pick, this is the one. Hence the reason it's number one. So, I do appreciate everybody stopping by. I love all of these fragrances on the list. None more so than Spice and Black Vanilla and Windsor. But do me a real quick favor, guys. Go ahead and like, comment, subscribe. I do appreciate all the feedback. Let me know what's some of your favorite cheapies to wear when it's cold outside. Do you love some of these? Do you hate some of these? Or some of these not for you? It is what it is. Fragrances are very subjective. Not all of these are going to be for everybody. Some of these you're going to totally agree with me. Some of these, oh God, what was he thinking? And I get it. Like I said, it's subjective. But until next time, guys, I will say if you get your hands on some of these and you give them a spray now, there's a real good chance you'll thank me later. Have a great day, guys.